possibility that ASEAN events and the other highly anticipated summits could be held online due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We have more update from our EBC correspondent in Hanoi, Charlene Navaja. Charlene.
Hi, Alma. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all the viewers. So the update in Vietnam is focused more on the ASEAN Summit. So the Deputy Foreign Minister Nguyen Quoc Dung said there's a possibility ASEAN events and highly anticipated summits could be held online due to the COVID-19 pandemic. With Vietnam in the role of ASEAN chairman in 2020, Dung told the press briefing in Hanoi, on Thursday, they are not ruling out the possibility of hosting events in teleconference format. And he also informed the press of the postponement of the 36th ASEAN Summit and ASEAN New Zealand Leaders Summits from April 8, that is, to 9 to the end of June in the central city of Da Nang. The diplomat announced that the ASEAN Summit and ASEAN +3, so that's the People's Republic of China, South Korea, and Japan on COVID-19 response will be held on April 14. That's going to be tomorrow, Alma, with the Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Phuc chairing over the events as ASEAN Chair 2020. Vietnam, as ASEAN 2020 Chair, has been proactively promoting joint efforts of the 10-member group in the fight against COVID with a spirit of being cohesive and responsive, Dung said. He also added, after consulting ASEAN leaders, Prime Minister Phuc issued the ASEAN Chairman statement on February 14, affirming the alliance's strong determination and political commitment to control and prevent the pandemic. The ASEAN Coordinating Council, composed of ASEAN foreign ministers, held 2 sessions on March 20 and April 9 under the chair of Vietnam's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Pham Binh Minh to discuss measures for stronger collaboration with the bloc and its partners. The ASEAN defense ministers, economic ministers, and ministers in charge of tourism have issued statements and agreed on measures to curb the spread of the novel coronavirus SARS-CoV-2. As ASEAN 2020 Chair, Vietnam pushed the establishment and organization of the teleconference of the ASEAN Coordinating Council Working Group on Public Health Emergencies on March 31st to take steps to implement intra-bloc coordination against COVID-19 in the future. So, specific recommendations included containing the spread of the pandemic, supporting affected people in the ASEAN countries, including those who are living, working, and studying in each other's member states in the third countries, and mitigating the disease's impact on socio-economic development. The ASEAN countries also pledged to strengthen the solidarity and mutual assistance to share efforts and enhance resilience to cope with the pandemic. At the meeting of the ASEAN Coordinating Council, ministers agreed to hold the ASEAN Special Summit and the ASEAN +3 Special Summit on COVID-19 response online. So that's tomorrow. The events will be presided over by the Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Phuc, who is the chair of the ASEAN and chair of ASEAN +3. The country's leaders are expected to adopt a joint statement of ASEAN Special Summit and another of the ASEAN +3 Special Summit on COVID-19 response, reaffirming their strong commitment and determination in preventing and eliminating the risk of the pandemic that threaten people's lives and socio-economic stabilization of the member states. In response to the reporters' queries about evaluating the cooperation of the U.S. and China with ASEAN in the COVID-19 fight, Deputy Foreign Minister Dung, who is head of the ASEAN senior officials meeting in Vietnam, said Vietnam supports the two powers in promoting their role in the world adding that the country has also cooperated in two countries since the beginning of the outbreak. Within the framework of ASEAN, China was the first country, then the US and the European Union to have first meetings with the bloc in this joint effort. This is the hope and endeavor of the ASEAN countries to strengthen partnerships with these countries. So he said, we have received very strong commitments from China and the US in supporting and uniting with ASEAN in fighting the pandemic. So just a quick update also, Alma, of the COVID cases here in Vietnam. So just this morning, there were 2 people living in Haloi village, Hanoi's Mailing district, have tested positive for COVID-19. So taking the national count to 262 today. There are now 10 people with coronavirus all over the same village. And one of the new cases is a 60-year-old woman who owns a grocery store in Ha Market. And the other is a 26-year-old woman who works for a Samsung company. And it was reported that she contracted the virus from her uncle, patient number 254. So both women are being treated at the National Hospital for Tropical Disease number 2 in Hanoi's Dong Ang district. So after a number of cases were discovered in the same village, more than 11,000 residents have been locked down inside the community. More than 6,800 of them have tested the SARS-CoV-2 and are waiting for the results. The city's health department on Sunday mobilized 15 quick response teams to the village to assist local authorities. And among the 262 cases in Vietnam now, 144 have been recovered. And of 118 active cases being treated at 14 healthcare facilities nationwide, 22 people tested negative for once, and 16 patients were tested negative twice.
Okay.
Alma?
All right. Thank you very much for that update. I think we have all the information we need now. Thank you so much. But the ASEAN Summit will be postponed till end June due to, of course, obviously worries about the coronavirus. Do they have plans of doing this online as well?
We don't have a word on that yet, Alma, but ASEAN leaders will convene a virtual summit this week to propose various initiatives as the bloc seeks collective and coordinated action against the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's probably going to be tomorrow, as mentioned earlier.
Yes.
And the summit is expected to be followed by an ASEAN +3 summit, an important forum for collaboration with the major development partners, again, the China, Japan, and South Korea, since these 3 have shown varying degrees of success in curbing the outbreak. So as the current ASEAN chair, Vietnam has proposed to set up a regional medical and essential goods reserves in case of an emergency. So building a common health response based on guidance from the World Health Organization, and organizing online drills at the ASEAN Center of Military Medicine on responding to epidemics. So the bloc is also working to establish a COVID-19 ASEAN Response Fund that would be drawn in part from the existing ASEAN developmental fund.
All right. Thank you very much, Charlene. And keep the updates coming. Stay healthy. Keep yourself safe as well. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Alma. Likewise. So this has been Charlene bringing you live updates from Hanoi, Vietnam. We live in interesting times.